Sherry and Noel, you're recognized. Really, Sherry.
Sherian, you need to unmute your mic.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
You're on, Sherian.
It has to do with small shops. Some of them are asking that because they would have sold so much of the items on Wednesday, and well, it's limited time between 8 to 12, and then the businesses who reimburse them also have within 8 to 12 in order for them to restock. How will that be feasible for them? Being as it's the same 4-hour block that they would have to move from shop to shop to restock them.
What we do not want to do, we do not want to extend the days for people to be moving about. Remember, this is a 24-hour curfew. And if we want to make exception or too much exceptions, we will be defeating the purpose. So while it might be inconvenient for some shop owners, this is the condition that currently exists, and this is the condition that they would have to work with. The day that shops are opening is also the days that the suppliers can move around to resupply those small shops. Because giving another day to the suppliers is actually making the curfew null and void in some sense.
Okay.
Rena Pierre?
Yes, I have a couple more questions. One, as it relates to essential workers and the use of telemachines, are they allowed to? Because officer did stop an essential worker from using a telemachine yesterday. And also, what about training as it relates to dealing with some of, dealing with the situation now for some of the police, especially the younger ones? Because it also had an altercation yesterday where one of the essential workers' documents were destroyed by an officer.
To answer your first question first, Rena, it stands to reason that if a day is given as a grocery day or a shopping day, people would need to access monies to be able to shop. So once you're out of your home for the shopping days, it is understood that you need to use the teller in some cases to be able to get the necessary cash to be able to purchase what you need. So definitively, to answer your question, yes, you're allowed to use the ATM. There is no restrictions on the ATM. There is restrictions on the movement of people. And on that day, the curfew is eased by 4 hours to allow people to go to the ATM, get their cash, and make whatever purchases that they do need to make. I think there was another question that you asked.
Yes. Another question is training for the younger officers as it relates to how they're dealing with persons regarding a situation that happened yesterday with an essential worker, documents being destroyed and complaints of being misusing their powers.
To answer this question, I believe that anyone encountering this type of issues, what they should do on the spot is to ask for the supervisor and have a discussion with the supervisor so the matter can be resolved.
There is a question we have on our Facebook page that asks who is responsible for monitoring those that are asked to self-quarantine. The Ministry of Health, in conjunction with the police, have some responsibility to do that. But I want to implore to the public that if you know someone should be self-quarantined and they are not, we do want to know about it. This curfew is about preventing the spread of the COVID-19 virus. And we all have our parts to play. The Ministry of Health is playing their part. Law enforcement, we are playing our part. The citizens of Grenada need to play their part. So if you see something that you think we need to know, please let us know. And Rena, the question that you have asked, if police officers are behaving in unprofessional manner, we want to know that as well. We do have a mechanism in place to investigate and discipline our own. We have been doing this and we will continue to do that. Mr. Hutchison, you had your hand up. Do you have a question, sir?
Yes, I want to go back to one of the statements you made earlier regarding the video that was in circulation. You said 3 persons were in police custody, assisting police with the investigation with regard to that particular video?
3 persons are in police custody, yes.
Okay.
Sherry Noel?
Yes, my question has to do with the application. You said send it via the email. What I want to know is once that email is sent, what's the response time period?
The response time would vary because as it is now, we have a lot of application coming in. So what we are advising that if you didn't receive any response within maybe 24 hours, you can contact the nearest police station to you, and then we will try to see how we could expedite it. But we have a lot of application we are attending to.
Just a follow-up. Is that form a standard one and for the passes? And is it retrievable from the RGPF Facebook page, email, or so?
No, the form is not standard because everybody's situation will be different. So we review each application on a case-by-case basis, then we give an approval.
So it's I'm just trying to get clarity. So it's actually somebody requesting via a letter permission rather than there is an actual form that you fill in and send in?
Exactly, and that is through the email address of the RGPF.
Okay, so there is no application form. You send your email.
You design your own application form with all the details required. Okay,
so I think that was a public because they were actually looking to find out where can they access that particular application form. So thanks for the clarity.
I want to address a question that is being sent in to us regarding marketing board and whether or not any provisions are in place for marketing board on the days that shops are opening. Now, we have to appreciate that this is the RGPF and we are responsible by and large for law enforcement. RGPF marketing board as a statutory body have to decide if they want to open and whether or not they will need a pass or permission so to do. So I'm not in a position to answer for businesses and why they're open or if they're open and whether or not they make an application or not. Businesses will have to make that determination. If they do not fall under one of the exceptions, then they need to make an application for permission so to do. There is a question that somebody's asking, was the police informed about the COVID-19 person who left the island? I can confirm here that some information was received and the answer to the question is yes, we were at some stage informed. Mikey Hutchison?
I remember I believe it was the commissioner stating that the gas station for the refill of the essential workers was going to be identified for the north side of the island. I'm not sure if that information was already published or made available to the public.
That information has not yet been made available, but I can assure you that much more than the north is currently being considered. There are a number of proposals at the table to make more than one gas station open at some point. That is still being discussed at the upper level, and when that information becomes available, we will make it available to the public. Rena Pierre?
Yes, just a little bit as it relates to the gas station again. Understanding that we had a congestion at Deco Industry yesterday. Also, I know that that industry also sells cooking gas. Now, the only gas they sell is rubies, and there are persons who would like cooking gas at their home from Sol and spice gas, which is the colored one. Is anything as it relates to that catered for Grenadians? Because while we had a lot of people buying gas or more than what they would have been doing, there are other people who didn't get at the time. So how is that being addressed?
Really, I think this is purely common sense on behalf of the people who desire us of acquiring those gas. It is a shopping day for grocery, and we'll consider gas an essential item. And so On those days that are set aside for shopping, of course, people should be able to be allowed to go to get their cooking gas. This is an essential item. So I don't think police officers will restrict or prevent you from doing that on those days. Any other questions? If not, we want to thank you again for joining us. Tomorrow morning at 8:30, we will be on again. The link that we have sent to you will cover a few days, so we do not have to send the link again. So you will sign on to the appropriate day for the brief. And so we will see you tomorrow morning at 8:30. My name is Valley Corwin, Superintendent in charge of Community Relations Department. And with me this morning was Superintendent John Charles and Assistant Superintendent Holly George. Thank you and have a great day.